This is Tim Sheldon with Timmons Group. In this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Extend Route tool on the Roads and Highways toolbar. What we've got here is the Roads and Highways toolbar, separated from the rest of the MXD so we can kind of get a better view of the buttons. The Extend Route function works a couple of different ways. You can extend a route at the end, which is likely the most common, or you can extend a route at the beginning, which is also fun and exciting, and I'll show you that as well after we do this extend at the end. So to know which way we're actually going to extend the route, we need to know which way it's measured, and in some cases, which way it's also digitized. My favorite way to do that is with the Identify LRS Route Locations tool. So with this tool, we'll click once at one end of the route and check the measure, and then we'll click at the other end and see what the measure is there and compare the two numbers to make sure, we see the higher number will be in the direction of increasing measures, obviously. So if we click here, we see 0.002 miles. When we click over here, we see 0.088 miles. So we know the route is measured in this direction. So if the extension is over here, it'll be an extend at the end. So let's go ahead and do that now. Because this extension is going to use new geometry, I need to add a new centerline feature. I'm going to do that with the standard editing tools. Nothing fancy here, except I want to make sure that I'm snapping to the end of the existing data. So we'll do that like this. Draw some extra special geometry as usual. And then from the Roads and Highways toolbar, we want to choose the centerline, not to be confused with selecting the centerline. The choose centerline is a separate activity altogether. Once the centerline is chosen, it turns blue, and it gets a label applied to it that tells you which number in the chosen centerline set it is. In this case, I'm only choosing one centerline, so it's going to be number 1. If you wanted to choose more than one, they will be numbered 1, 2, 3 in the order that you chose them. So once our centerline is chosen, we go to the Extend Route tool. So like a lot of other dialogues in Roads and Highways, the first thing the tool wants to know is the effective date. When is this edit effective in the LRS? So depending on how you model temporality in your database, this could be today's date, or this could be the actual date the road was constructed, or some other business logic you've put in place. For our demo, we're going to say it was a few Thursdays ago. Next, we choose the route we're extending. I like to use the select route from map function whenever I can. So in that case, I'll click the route I want to extend. So you'll see from there, the from and to measures are populated for me. So what happened there is the max measure of the route as it originally sits is used as the beginning of the extension, basically. So the existing route max measure was 096. That's why you see 096 here. And then the length was calculated based on the geometric length of the new centerline feature. There's a couple of checkboxes here. I always want to leave recalibrate route downstream checked. This makes sure that any events that are along the route are going to be updated. In this case, no, there aren't any events downstream, but it's a good habit to get into just to leave this box checked. Do not apply event measure behaviors is a box that is unchecked by default, and we want to leave it unchecked, again, to make sure that any event handling that needs to happen is done correctly. So click OK. Roads and Highways will go process this for us, and then we'll have a new longer route. We can confirm that again with the Identify LRS Route Locations tool. This time, the maximum measure is 0.170618. Before, it was a much shorter route. If we want to see that spatially, we can use the temporal view date or the set date filter function and just set our view back to before the edit happened. So now we see the route in its original length. And if we change this back to use the current system date and time, it's the longer route, the extended version of it, excuse me. So we'll go ahead and save that edit. So that was extending at the end of the route. The next thing is extend at the beginning. I believe we have another test case right here in the same view. No need to pan around. So again, I'll use the Identify LRS Route Locations to make sure that this route goes the direction I think it does. I believe it starts here at 0043 approximately. And this is a higher number, so we know that the measures increase in this direction. So because we're going to extend at the beginning and the measures go north-ish to south-ish, I'm going to create my new centerline feature starting over here with, you guessed it, extra special digitizing. Again, making sure we snap where we want to end this line. So go ahead and finish the sketch. We'll choose that center line. And then we'll click the extend route. So everything is the same as what you saw just a minute ago. Effective date, let's go ahead and pick the second again. The route we're going to extend is this one. So in this case, this looks a little different. The from measure is now negative. The to measure is 0. Right out of the gate, that should probably look a little bit weird to you. The reason for this is that the software is designed assuming that the 0 point of a route is always going to be in the same location and across all time. So if you think about it, if you want to always leave the 0 point of a route in one place, you want to extend it from the beginning, the only option you really have would be to make the new from measure a negative number. So that's what's reflected here. If you don't want to do that as part of your business rules, it's easy enough to highlight that, type a 0, and then click this button, which calculates the to measure based on the center line length. So we'll go ahead and do that. So now our 0 will be here, and the new measure here will be 0.03978. The same two boxes exist. I'm going to do the same thing with them. Leave this one checked, leave this one unchecked. Click OK. And now we've extended the route at the beginning. Do the same type of thing. So if we click down here near the beginning, won't be exactly. Near the beginning is 0.000385. And the new maximum measure of 0.137978 will be down here towards the end of the route. All that checks out okay. So I feel like I've done this correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and save my edits. So there you go. That's extending a route at the end and extending a route at the beginning. Thanks for watching.